Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Bill will prepare to skulk Liam out of the sanitarium while Finn reacts to Grace's weird jest. Liam has inked the paperwork. He can move forward with the experimental treatment that Grace recommended. Grace's co-worker has developed a procedure that's in its early stages, but she's averring this could give Liam real stopgap of survival. Bill is clearly agitated and has offered a blank check if that's what it takes. Grace refocused out the treatment could bring overhead of $1 million, but that's the last thing Bill's upset about considering the size of his bank account. Once the plutocrat situation is taken care of, Bill will be willing to help sneak Liam off to the surgical center Grace reserved, too. Since the sanitarium can't authorize or indeed know about any of this, Grace will have to be careful. Grace may ultimately have to make some defenses for Liam's evaporating act. Finn and Bridget will surely pick up on some strange suggestions when it comes to Grace's jest, since she's going to go against protocol on some effects. Bridget and Finn will also take some time to bandy Liam's frippery and perseverance. Liam has been through a lot between his brain excrescence news and this firing fire, so Finn and Bridget will be full of admiration. Bridget and Finn will just wish there was further they could do to help. Now Liam's ready to fight for another chapter, so let's stopgap Grace's co-worker can come through for him. Liam wants to stay alive so that Beth and Kelly don't have to grow up without a pater. So there's a lot at stake. Liam's plot will come with further curveballs. Liam inked a disclaimer for a wild procedure while Taylor made a marriage date request. At the Forester, Taylor talked to Donna about the possibility that Brooke might go on Ridge and Eric Italy trip. Donna wondered how Taylor would really feel about that, so Taylor claimed she trusted Ridge and refocused out that Nick might be there, too. At Forester Creations, Eric talked Brooke into going on the business trip to subsidize on her fashionability there. Once Brooke left the CEO office, Eric played up the magic of Italy and gave Ridge a punch to completely enjoy all Italy had to offer with Brooke. Taylor felt like she was interposing commodity when she appeared in the doorway, but Eric played down effects before taking off. After Taylor was alone with Ridge, she had one request before he left city and asked to set a marriage date. In the design office, Nick checked on Brooke since he heard about all the firing drama. The discussion ultimately shifted to Brooke going on the Italy trip, so Nick asked what Brooke was doing and refused to let her go down this road with Ridge again. Brooke argued that it was business, but Nick didn't feel convinced and eventually pushed her to fly to Italy with him rather. After Nick turned on the charm, Brooke smiled and sounded interested in his offer. In Liam's sanitarium room, Bill expressed his guilt for getting Luna out of captivity, but Liam claimed it was over and that Luna was gone now. Talk turned to Liam's brain excrescence and Bill's desire to do everything in his power to help him. After this near-death experience, Liam realized he wasn't ready to die and had to fight. Grace overheard and ultimately pulled Bill out of the room to speak intimately. After Grace admitted there could be some stopgap, she said her co-worker had developed a procedure that was in its early stages. It could be Liam's only shot, so Bill was willing to subscribe any quitclaims and pay whatever it took. Grace advised it could bring overhead of $1 million, but Bill replied that he'd give her a freaking blank check if it meant saving Liam. Grace also indicated that it was an commodity that could be done at the sanitarium and stressed the significance of keeping effects quiet. Since Bill was on board, Grace suggested they demanded to act incontinently and get Liam on board as well. Once Bill returned to Liam with updates, it didn't take important persuading since Liam was surely open to a chance to live. Grace spoke with Liam next, so he questioned her since he was preliminarily told his excrescence was inoperable. That was true by current surgery norms, but Grace said her co-worker was doing new effects and offering an experimental surgery. Grace added that she took the liberty of reaching this co-worker, who was formerly in the countries. The surgery could be listed for hereafter, but Grace reiterated that it couldn't be done there at the sanitarium. This was all hush-hush since the full blessing could take times, which Liam obviously didn't have. Bill prompted Liam not to pass up this chance, so Liam said he wanted to live and that they should do it. Grace talked about a surgical center that was available, so she could bespeak the procedure for hereafter. After Grace handed over the paperwork, which presumably included the disclaimer and whatever additional Liam demanded to confirm, he indeed inked it. Bill said that hereafter was the first day of the rest of Liam's life as auspicious music swelled in the background. Bill and Liam were both hoping for good news. Bill will remain probative as Liam goes through the coming phase of all this. Grace will get Liam into a new experimental treatment once Bill dips into his fortune. We'll see Grace looking relieved over $1 million bone transfer communication on her phone. Grace will perform an original surgery, but there'll be more way to come if Liam hopes to recover. Liam will have to head to a private clinic for the rest of his experimental treatment program, and there'll be a new croaker for Liam to work with. Formerly he arrives. There's no word on who this croaker is just yet, so it'll be intriguing to see who's behind the plan that could help Liam survive. Although this whole situation seems incredibly shady, Bill will end watch as long as it gives Liam the possibility of beating his brain excrescence. There are some reasons to be concerned since Grace seems so rattled recently. It appears someone may be blackmailing Grace into rounding up cases like Liam for this experimental protocol. That could mean the new croaker has a minatory side and isn't exactly an humanitarian character who just wants to help people. This may be further about the plutocrat than anything differently, but B&B surely wouldn't be doing this plot if it was directing to Liam's survival. Indeed, if there are some ulterior motives involved, this new croaker's experimental treatment could give Liam the life-saving results he needs. Since Bill is paying for everything and making the arrangements, that'll give him an occasion to make amends for getting Luna out of captivity. Bill can also make up for other once miscalculations with Liam and try to do a better job with their father-son bond moving forward. Since this riddle croaker should make his or her debut soon, we'll be sure to give you updates on any major casting news. Liam will find himself on quite the emotional roller coaster thanks to what this new croaker has to offer. Liam opening his eyes, Bill learning the verity about Liam's impending death, and Lee pulling Finn away and asking a veritably satisfying question. Liam remained unconscious but stable, leaving Steffi and hoped to supplicate for his recovery. Everyone ignored that indeed if he came around, he'd soon die anyway. Bridget came in to check on effects and talk about what Liam's slow progress. She assured the ladyloves that he was stable, but she bothered about Liam not opening his eyes. Grace came by and claimed on looking over Liam. He's her case, after all. She excused Steffi and Hope and asked them to join the others in the hall. They did just that, where they set up Taylor streamlining Brooke on all the drama. Back in the room, Grace prayed Liam to come around. Sheila cried over the woeful loss of her lunatic granddaughter. Sheila cried over the news, and when the gashes started to flow, Finn excused himself, leaving Cleric to comfort her. Ridge got in Bill's face while the hustler was in gashes, fussing for his son. Yes, it's his fault for releasing Luna. Yes, he'd lament it for the rest of his life. When Bill stormed off to see his son, Ridge chased him down and pushed him into an empty room and supplicated him to leave Liam alone. Do commodity right by your son for formerly. Ridge laid into him like no way ahead. All Liam ever wanted was for Bill to choose him, and he no way did. Heck, he chose a killer over his son. What kind of father does that? Ridge prompted him to stay down and supplicate. Supplicate for his son's survival and supplicate for his son's remission. The men went to join the others, where Hope lashed out at Bill. She flew off the handle so much that she slipped up about his brain excrescence and was forced to admit to everyone, including Bill, that Liam's been battling cancer this whole time. Bill was shocked his son didn't tell him. He was indeed more shocked to hear that indeed if Liam survives Luna's attack, he wouldn't live much longer. Steffi didn't make hearing the news any easier. She also laid into Bill and all his egoism. Liam was starting to come around. Steffi, Finn, and Hope rushed to his room just in time to watch Liam open his eyes. Also getting pulled into a room was Finn by his mama. Lee got him alone and asked him to be 100% honest. How does he really feel about his son's death? What an odd question to ask. Finn admitted it was complicated and that he was trying to reuse all of it. Luna's life was wasted. She suffered so important trauma and rigors, but look at what she did to Steffi and the others. Lee understood and supplicated him to let Luna go and not allow her death to impact his marriage. Baker came upon them and assured them Luna would be back in captivity for her host of crimes. Important to his surprise, Finn informed him that Luna is dead.